On April 22, 2025, tourists in Pahalgam, Kashmir were gunned down by terrorists. 26 people lost their lives in this gruesome act of terror. India accused Pakistan for this dastardly act, and Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif, in an interview to Sky News, admitted to Pakistan's involvement of nurturing non-state actors for terrorism in the past.
We have been doing this dirty work for United States for about 3 decades.
India responded to this matter by placing the Indus Water Treaty of 1960 in abeyance. But what is the treaty and what does it mean for India and Pakistan to keep this treaty in abeyance? The Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 is a significant agreement between India and Pakistan, facilitated by the World Bank. The treaty was signed on September 19, 1960 in Karachi and aims to regulate the use of the waters of the Indus River system, which includes the Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, and Satluj rivers. The treaty divides the rivers into two categories: the eastern rivers, or the Satluj, Beas, and Ravi, and the western rivers, the Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab. India has unrestricted rights to the eastern rivers, while Pakistan has rights to the western ones. And both countries are required to exchange data regarding water flow and usage to ensure transparency and cooperation. Following the deadly attack in Pahalgam, India put the treaty in abeyance. Abeyance does not mean termination, but a suspension or pause of the treaty clauses. According to legal experts, India can invoke Article 62 of the Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties, which permits withdrawal from a treaty due to significant changes in circumstances. According to P.K. Saxena, the former Indus Water Commissioner, India has a few strategic options which it can exercise: stopping the exchange of river flow data with Pakistan, moving forward with previously prohibited reservoir flushing, and implementing storage projects on the western rivers. Being an upper riparian country, India now is under no obligation to follow the restrictions under the Indus Waters Treaty. And according to Saxena, reservoir flushing is an option that can be explored. So, what is reservoir flushing? Reservoir flushing is a method used to eliminate accumulated sediments in a reservoir by releasing water at a high flow rate, allowing the sediment to be carried downstream. This technique is intended to preserve the dam's storage capacity, which can be reduced over time due to sediment buildup. The silt-laden water would be detrimental to Pakistan as 80% of its land depends on the Indus for irrigation, and the sediments would be disastrous for crops. Experts opine that due to India's limited infrastructure, restricting the water would mean billions of cubic meters would require storage or diversion, and the absence of canals and storage infrastructure rules out both restriction and diversion. This issue is further complicated by climate change that has caused ever increasing extreme weather events in the past few years. For example, in 2023, sudden flash floods caused unprecedented damage to both lives and assets in Himachal Pradesh. The decision to restrict the water supply would mean storage of billions of cubic meters of water. It is necessary to note that the melting ice from glaciers that takes place between May and September would add to the already immense volume of water. The decision to restrict the water supply would mean storage of billions of cubic meters of water. And for Pakistan, the situation in the drier months would be exacerbated as the water level goes lower. And since the country relies heavily on the western rivers for agriculture and energy, it would suffer extensively. For now, the treaty is in abeyance and not terminated. So, during this period, India needs to focus on projects which had been stalled due to Pakistan's objections. For instance, the 330 megawatt Kishanganga Dam and the 850 megawatt under construction Ratle Dam.